So we've seen this before. It's a Punnett square. And we already know how we fill out Punnett squares, right?
Yeah.
Who feels super confident and wants to come try this? Sammy, come here. So let's see if you can do it right.
Okay, cool.
So we're recording. Tell me what you're doing.
I'm gonna put this B down, this one also down,
Keep going.
and then wait.
Keep going.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay. Fine. B, and then B.
Excellent. Who agrees with what Sammy did? That's because she's correct. Exactly. So you can put it down. She was hesitating a little because she wanted to do two things at once. That's totally fine. However you do it is totally fine. Had you brought both of these B's first and then these first, it doesn't matter. As long as you fill out the right way. As long as you fill out the right way. So that's how we fill out Punnett squares. It's really not that hard. So we have a good question here. She said in the top right box that it says little b, big B. Isn't the big B supposed to come first? The answer is sorta. It can go in either way because it's kind of like in math where it's like 2 plus 3 equals 5, but also 3 plus 2 equals 5. However, we as scientists like to put the big letter before the small letter, but either way works. It's just the more scientific way that we do that. It's just the more scientific way. Now, I'm going to ask you guys some questions. And we're going to see what the answers are, okay? So, first of all, which square is homozygous dominant? Which square is homozygous dominant? Taya? Square number 1, exactly. Okay, how about this one? What is square number 4? Who can tell me what square number 4 is? Who can say it? Sit, Lolly.
Recessive.
What kind of recessive? What is it?
Homozygous recessive.
It's homozygous recessive. Yes. What about squares 2 and 3? Who can tell me what those are called? Sammy?
Hybrid.
They are hybrid. What is the name for that too? What is it? What is it? It is heterozygous because they are different. Exactly. So that's just what we're called. Now, what would be the phenotypes of each of these? You guys are going to tell me if the phenotype is going to be dominant or if the phenotype is going to be recessive. Phenotype of box 1. Phenotype of box 1, Taya. Dominant. Phenotype of box 2, Sammy.
Recessive.
No. Phenotype of box 2, London. Dominant because it has a big B. If it has any big B. What about box number 3, Kai? Dominant. Excellent. What about box number 4, Marco? Recessive. Exactly. If it has a big letter at all, it is always dominant. It is not in the middle. It is not half and half. I know it's complicated, but if it has that big letter at all, that means it is dominant. So normally when we do Punnett squares, we're given the information of the parents' genotypes. We're given that. But in this case, I gave us partial information on the parents' genotypes and partial information on the offspring's genotypes. So by looking at this, we should be able to figure out what to do. So we're going to have Zoe come and solve this. Zoe's going to come and solve it. Let's see. Come up here. So here's our partial information Punnett square. I want you to fill it out.
So I put a.
Oops, it's on erase. There we go.
So I put a capital D here.
How'd you know to put a capital D there?
Because the beginning letters D.
Exactly. We have a capital D below it. Great job.
So then I put D here, and then there was a lowercase d, so I did that. Then that's a lowercase, so I did that. And then this one is a lowercase because the second letter is D, lowercase d.
So is this one going to be a lowercase?
Yeah.
Let's see. Now, let's look at this Punnett square together. Zoe's Punnett square is a tiny bit off. Just a tiny bit. So here she has the big D, the big D, the little d, the little d. That matches, right? That works out nicely. Here we have a little d and a little d, yet they came together and she has a big D and a little d. So that didn't match. That didn't match. So we need to think of something else. I want you guys to try it again. So Titus is going to show us what he did. So Titus put a little d up there, so he put the big D there. Excellent. So this, let's check if this worked out. Here, we have big D, little d. That matches big D, little d. That matches little d, little d. That matches little d, little d. That matches. That's the thing with this. Sometimes it looks like there's multiple ways to solve it. So you always, when you fill it out, look back and check it. Always on like a separate sheet of paper right next to it. Go back and check it. Because even I looked at Zoe's and thought she was right. It looked right to me, right? It looks right, but it is not. So that's why we always, in every subject, double check our work. Titus's was correct. What we are going to do... So Leonard asked a great question. He says when we drop it, do we have to drop it on a specific side? Do we have to move it to a specific place? And the answer is no. So when we drop it, we could put it on that side or we could put it on that side. It doesn't matter. So let's say we dropped these D's. We're going to put it on this side and we can put the other one on this side. As such, we put this one here. We put this one here. It's the same thing. It doesn't matter what side it goes on because we're always going to get the same answer. We're always going to get the same answer. Like I said, it's similar to addition where it doesn't matter if it's 2 plus 3 equals 5 or 3 plus 2 equals 5. We get the same thing. We get the same thing. So what we're going to do today as our classwork is we are going to be doing Punnett square exercises. You are going to fill out all of these Punnett squares. There's a total of 30 Punnett squares to fill out. Now, some of them are going to be easier than others, but I want to practice. Now, some of them are going to be easier, some of them are going to be harder. Make sure that you check your work.